Oh, we got a brand new image of Camazotz. This awesome, really cool. I'll tell you what really surprises me about this when we see this is just why are we not getting it in a movie? I want to see it in a movie. Look, if you don't know what we're talking about, we are talking about one of Legendary's comics. Their expanded media for Godzilla, Kong, all of that universe, right? And Camazotz is, well, it's a new Titan that Kong, I believe, is going to be facing in, I guess, a prequel comic to Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong. So we'll check it out because we've got a brand new image. There's been a few images that have been revealed across the time now. And this one looks amazing. It looks so good. Before we get into it, okay, I've been saying it for ages, I know, but we've got to keep doing it. We're on a roll. I'm making a movie. It's a high concept horror fantasy film. I'm doing a crowdfund. It's linked down below in the description box. We've hit the first stretch target. We're now on our way to hitting the second stretch target. If you want to contribute and you want to donate more, or well, $5 or more, you're actually in for a chance of winning a prop, a movie prop, basically a weapon, which has been organised between me and the prop maker for the film. So check it out. It's down below. Thanks so much for anyone that has contributed. It's coming together. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's check it out. TITANUS CAMAZOTZ. I love it. I really, honestly, it's been so dry on movie news in general recently, and whatever movie news we have had has just been diabolical. But Legendary is just keeping it up. Honestly, that sounds like a euphemism or an innuendo, whatever. But they just bring the hype. They really do. I remember all last year, this time. No, it wasn't this time. Well, maybe it was this time. I can't remember. This time last year, whenever it was. Super amped, super hyped. Just everything was so cool. And Legendary, they really know how to amp stuff up. And this is one of them. So, Camazotz is like a giant bat. It's like a giant bat titan, basically, that Kong is going to face off against. And I really like this design. I think this is cool. We'll just scroll down a little bit and you can see, look at that! Look at that design! There's so much going on in that image. So much going on. And I've got so many questions. I have so many questions. We're going to get to it in a second. Let's scroll up. Let's take a look at the article on a whole, right? So a new image of TITANUS CAMAZOTZ has been revealed thanks to the recent Legendary Comics WonderCon at-home panel, which we learnt a little bit more. We actually saw a new image of Kong, which I'll probably get to just at the end of this, just to remind people, because the video that I did on that didn't go out to anyone. They weren't notified, but we'll cover that in a second anyway. Now, we've got our best look yet at the new Winged Titan, which is a Bat Titan. So the Titan is slated to make his inaugural appearance in the upcoming Kong prequel graphic novel for Godzilla vs. Kong. During the panel, the Titan was described as being like darkness and the embodiment of nightmares. How cool is that? It's honestly, it's what kids think up. But it's for adults as well. I love it. Oh, so good. Anyway, Camazotz was also referred to as being male in the panel. That'll irritate a few people. So we can assume for now at least that he is indeed a male. Additionally, you can see what appears to be multiple smaller Camazotz in the below image. They are most likely smaller members of the same species, similar to smaller skull crawlers on Skull Island. Now, I don't know whether I don't know. I don't think they are smaller ones, because if you look at them, let's just save this. Let's have a look, because I actually don't think they are, and you'll see why in a second. If you look at Camazotz and his wingspan, right? There's not really any membrane on it. Now, if we look at them here, there's a membrane. Can you see? Like Camazotz, he doesn't have. There's no membrane on the wingspan. Like it's all tattered and almost. Well, it's almost dragon-like, isn't it? Now, I will say that the tail is very similar. So maybe this is just the... I don't know. It's difficult to tell. I can't see why they would be so different. You know? How the wings would be so different to Camazotz or Camazotz and then these ones. Do you see what I mean? Yes, I'm talking to myself rhetorical questions. But I just can't see why these wings on the smaller ones would be so different to the big one. But I mean, what a fantastic image. Absolutely fantastic. Really cool. And so few talking points here. My main questions are, right, where is he, right? He's standing on a mountain. I want to know how big this dude is by comparison to Rodan. That's what I want to see. I want to know how big he is compared to Rodan. Because, good God, how awesome would that be if he's on par with Rodan? Because, again, look, like, you know, we remember, we go back to Godzilla King of the Monsters, Rodan's emergence from the volcano. Very similar to this, right? Very similar looking, coming up and out. A similar aesthetic, similar looking size, if not Camazotz may be a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit bigger. It's difficult to tell, isn't it? But I would love to see him by comparison to Rodan. And also, you got to think to yourself, right? Rodan is still flying around, presumably still wreaking havoc on Earth, because he's not dead. He bowed to Godzilla, and you know he's going to fly around, isn't he? But obviously, everywhere he flies causes like this almost this huge wave of destruction. So, would he then see Camazotz as a threat? Would he? You know, he's in the sky as well. Would he hear him? Would he hear his cries? He's clearly making a noise here. Who knows? So cool though. Darkness and the embodiment of nightmares. Well, look at that. Bloody well looks it, doesn't it? And we can see as well, like size, just like in terms of gauging the size, these smaller ones are about the same size as a jet. And you can say that because, you know, there's one here, and there's obviously, you know, presumably a jet there, one there, and a jet. You can't actually see my mouse, can you? Sorry. Basically, top of the image, you can see multiple smaller winged creatures with jets near them. So they're about the same size as the jet. So they're not small. They're still pretty damn big. They're what I would say is on par with, you know, normal creatures on Skull Island. But I wouldn't say, you know, when we talk about the smaller versions of Skullcrawlers and stuff like that, they're not that small by comparison, are they? They're still pretty bloody big. But this is amazing. This is so cool. This is epic. Like, I love this. I absolutely love this. Isn't it badass? How's Kong going to beat him? He's in the air. I can't. Obviously, there's going to be like built-in plot armor and stuff like this. But I do love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think this is beautiful art. I don't really like the look of this. Because it's actually polar opposites. You've got... That's... Again, you can't actually see it. I'm pointing to the human character, what's presumably a woman. It's almost hyper-realistic. And then you go... Very clearly not realistic. So I don't like the two tones. Like, either like stick with one or the other, you know? I think that's dumb. And also, the woman looking hyper-realistic is not actually in keeping with the other style of art in some of these comics. So I don't... That's a bit lame. You know, that's a bit lame. Like I say, stick to one, because that's quite off-putting. But what a cool image. What do you think? What do you think about it? It's very dragon-like, very scaly. Looks like it would survive a volcano and things like this. I can't wait to learn its powers. Can't wait to do a breakdown video on it. I think it's absolutely epic. Now, again, I did say I would cover it just briefly, just whilst we wrap this up, because, again, no one really saw it. There was just a quick, again, another image of Kong revealed. Looks about the same size as he did. Doesn't look that different. You know, there's a tiger there on Skull Island. He looks about the same. And that was kind of my coverage of it. I did, you know, delve into it a little bit more, I guess, and discuss it a bit more. He's not very different. You know, he's got a beard and all this kind of stuff. Looks fine. Looks interesting. But Camazotz, good lord. Go lord. Doesn't he look cool? What do you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Cannot wait to start talking about stuff that's positive and fun again. Like this. so good. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Mr. H. Take care.